Hi, and welcome to Zig's Chemistry 42. Don't panic, it's only chemistry. My name is Siegfried Schindler, and I'm looking forward to guide you through this course of introductory chemistry. And as you can see, this is about everything you always wanted to know about chemistry, but were afraid to ask. As you can see, I'm a big fan of Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and with this I hope to accompany you for a Hitchhiker's Guide to Chemistry. And yep, it's mostly harmless. So with this, let's get started. Now, the first question might be for you, who is this course for? And I think the answer is pretty easy to answer. It's especially for students who have to do chemistry, even though they are non-major chemistry students, and especially those students who struggle with chemistry. And for that, I would like to help them with it. And it's especially, for example, I know medical students or biology students, also in engineering, engineering students might have some trouble because they might not have the background from school. And suddenly they have to learn chemistry for their studies, and that makes it a little bit difficult. And yeah, so I hope I will help you with that. And it's also interesting probably for curious learners who would like to learn a little bit more about chemistry, get some clear explanations about some of the topics. And my goal is that you should understand the chemistry topics and not just memorize it. Now, I should introduce myself and tell you a little bit who I am. And I'm a professor for inorganic chemistry. I'm a researcher and a teacher. I've been at the university, at the Justus Liebig University in Gießen in Germany since 2002. And I will be your guide through Chemistry 42. And yeah, there should be clear explanations. It should be a solid foundation. And I hope there will be no panic when you have to learn some chemistry. I should point out that I also started as a young boy actually with chemistry. That's me when I was 13. And as you can see, unfortunately, I had this very terrible haircut. We had to save money. We were not very rich. And my father decided to do my haircut. And as you can see from my face, I was not very happy about that. But I was very happy about chemistry. And I started very early and I had my own chemistry lab. And you can see this is actually the chemistry lab over here. That's in my bedroom. It did not fit according to any kind of safety regulations, but I was doing lots of experiments, and I can tell you that I also was very lucky that nothing bad happened to me. I think I had several guardian angels watching over me. Anyway, over time, I got a little bit better. I did better chemistry, and also it got more organized, and I moved to the basement, and I actually had my own lab there, which was nice, and that was why I started to learn chemistry and did lots of experiments. As I said, some of them I shouldn't have done, but I learned my lessons over the time before I studied chemistry. And I also started to like teaching already at that time because I taught my best friend, for example, and other of my classmates or so to get better in this topic in school. Now, with this, I would like to tell you why I'm doing this at all. And the reason for that is that I've been teaching for more than 30 years general chemistry at the university level, especially medical students, students from nutrition, students who were in environmental sciences, teachers, and so on. And so I know about the problems that many of the students have to grasp the basic ideas of chemistry, which are important, but sometimes it's difficult for different reasons that you might have some of the problems. And I can tell you, I can assure you that I think nearly everybody of you would be able to understand this and can understand this. And if you little help you need, you probably will get in this class. So with this, I'm hoping to help you to overcome the challenges of understanding chemistry in the follow-up on this course here. And with this, I also would like to share my experience with you so you get to learn the chemistry, understand why it's important. And yeah, one of my big hopes is that I also can make learning chemistry for you and also science a little bit more enjoyable, that you might even have some fun if you understand these topics on chemistry, and especially if you will be able to apply them in your classes and also for your exams and so on. Yeah, why chemistry at all? Why do you have to do this? And why do you have to do this for your topic? This will become more clear in the course. I will give you many, many examples. But I'm absolutely sure and I know that chemistry can help you to understand many things in your everyday life, might be quite important and interesting for you actually in that regard. And especially also it should help you to, if you have to undergo an exam in a class or so, that this will help you also to get better in that. But especially, I think it's not bad to know a little bit more about chemistry or also about science at all, because once you begin, in my opinion, you begin to understand chemistry, you really start to see the world differently. And I put up these poppy flowers here, which is kind of field in where poppy flowers are, and I like them a lot, these flowers, but it is if you understand a little bit more of nature of the science about physics, biology, and the chemistry, especially chemistry, because I'm doing this and I'm quite fan of that. You really see the world in a different way, and you can even more appreciate the wonders of what's going on around you about the living species of the human beings, but also animals and plants and just everything around you. It's kind of fascinating to understand this a little bit more and really being aware of the wonders of life which is around you. Chemistry definitely is everywhere, and to give you just one example or so is already, as you can see on this very simplified AI illustration, and please don't take this too serious. This is a very simplified AI illustration with lots of mistakes in it, but I think it shows you something or so because you're doing chemistry while you're watching this video because you're breathing. And what your breathing is doing is that you have red blood cells, and these red blood cells, they contain hemoglobin. It's not like it's shown over here exactly. This is, as I said, a simplified AI illustration. And we will go into more detail how this really looks like in chemistry, but you also might do this in more detail in biology. But this is a simplified scheme. And what we have over here, that in your hemoglobin, you have iron ions, and these iron ions are able to uptake oxygen. And then you have like it's coordinated to the iron, as chemists call it. And with this, you can transport oxygen through your body. And at the places where the oxygen needs, it's released again. So it's a reversible uptake of oxygen. And that's a very, very important chemical reaction that we are undergoing many, many times per day just by breathing. Um, yeah, how this course works, you should start with the beginning. I mean, you can also jump in at one point. I'm just starting this off now, but I think you should start by chemistry lesson number 1. This is number 1, and it will be going on that you follow up on that. The course in the way works that you have in the beginning, you start with an everyday observation. That's something also that we look into. It will not be always the case, but many of the times we will just look into something for every day. We look into the chemical concept on what this is built on. We look use many examples on that, also visual models in that way. And then we probably still recap the key ideas so you can keep this in mind and you don't just have to memorize it. The videos will be done in a way that we have A videos. So A videos are kind of the principle, the core path. So it's 001A, 002A, and so on. And then we have B videos, which are bonus and deeper dive. There also might be C, D, and E videos, depending on the topics. There might be stuff coming together with it. And for me, it's kind of, I'm using this like my SIG test over here. And I'm looking into if this helps the students to understand chemistry better. And that's how I would like to make these videos, that you really have not only, well, you should have probably also some fun, but it's not only fun because you have to work still on that, but that it at least is enjoyable, or so that you can understand in the end chemistry better. And that's especially the goal of this course here. There's one important message before I close this first video over here is, and this is how these videos are made. A couple of them in the past I started to make videos a long time ago in a studio. We're not doing this in the studio now anymore, but we can do this in a more simplified way. This was in the many, many years ago that we had to do this in this way. But yeah, that also tells the story that today you cannot distinguish between videos that are really made with the camera and not modified, and videos that are just purely made up by artificial intelligence. There's nothing wrong with doing stuff with AI, and I also will use it in the future, but I will tell you. But the problem is also that you can actually really make it difficult to distinguish reliable information from misinformation. I cannot distinguish today anymore a video that has, well, most of the time, at least if it's not really made badly, I cannot distinguish a video that has been made purely by AI and a video that has been really taken by a video camera. For me, it's important that my videos over here, what you're watching or so, are based on transparency. I put this in red over here: accuracy, scientific integrity, and fundamental principle of this, the fundamental principles of this course. And that's very important to me. That doesn't mean that I cannot make mistakes. I'm usually trying to correct my mistakes, but definitely I have high ethical standards on that, and I'm trying to do it in a way that you really know that the information is based on facts, and you will learn about that in a way that we have some important information for you with regard to what you need to learn. I highly recommend that you use AI tools for learning. There are many, many things also that you can use at the time of the video that I'm making right now. You can use, for example, LM Notebook from Google, which is helping a lot also, that you can do many things. But AI is changing so fast that this will be coming up in the end or so, that many more possibilities are come up also that you can use them. But be critical about, for example, ChatGPT is making lots of mistakes at the current point with chemical formulas. Usually they are, a lot of times they're screwed up. And so be very, very careful. I also had to learn making these videos over here that you really have to watch out before you put something out and make a big mistake. I'm using AI for pictures and so on, but I also will tell you about that. So you will not get anything kind of that I make up something or so, but you will get the information about what I'm doing in that way. And yeah, this is something what we're getting into in the first real lecture. That will be the next video what we have. And we're starting, as I said, with something from everyday life. We will start with water. Water, you know, can come as a solid, liquid, and gas. And we will get from that, we will go into the states of matter in general, talk about melting and boiling. We'll talk a bit about pressure and temperature. And from that, we already start to get into the science, because we will discover how a phase diagram comes together from these everyday observations. And that's the key idea, that chemistry starts from observation, a lot of times from everyday observation. Now here you can see again a nice AI picture, which is nice to do this. You have an ice cube over here. You see the solid, it's melting, and you get a liquid, the typical water, or it's freezing to get the ice cube. And when you boil it, you get gas, the water gas or the steam. And if you condense it, it will come back to water. And here already you have one of the mistakes that AI is making, because it's a nice picture, but the picture unfortunately is wrong, because that is not water in its gaseous form, because what you see over here is already condensed form, because water in the form of gas or steam, that's actually colorless. You don't see it because it's a gas, and that gas you won't see. It's at the moment it's around you, depending where you are right now. It's the humidity of the air what you have. And if you see something like what was just shown on this picture over here, that's a cloud or fog, and some people call it steam as well. But if you take it really, the gas or the steam, that is not being visible for us. And so be very, very careful. That's a good example that shows you already how you have to be really, really careful about just using AI for everything you're working with. So double check, and sometimes even let AI double check it. So with this, I think we're kind of ready for the first lesson. And I would think, let's take a cup of coffee or tea if you prefer this. And yeah, let's get started for the first real lesson on chemistry.